amazing honor to have Tom Bancroft with us here, talk to AnimSchool students and guests. So let's do a quick bio. Let's see. I know that you were supervising Mushu and you animated on Lion King specifically. Did you animate multiple characters or mostly Simba?
Pretty much only, yeah, young Simba.
So then you've got various characters in Beauty and the Beast, in Aladdin, and Lilo and Stitch, and Brother Bear. And we're going to look at those in a minute. And then you've also written, so you worked on other productions here. I didn't realize you were on VeggieTales.
I left Disney in 2000 and after I'd been there for about 10 or 11 years. And that was after Milan. Then I worked a little bit on Tarzan. I did the adult elephants that get into the argument about piranhas. And I did John Henry, which is a short we did out of Florida. One of the last things I did at Disney the first time was drawn to animation, is what it's called. And anyway, at one point they filmed me talking to Mushu about how he was designed and developed, and so that still shows. Anyway, that was one of the very last things I did before I left Disney was film that, and then also I did some of the animation of Mushu. So it's funny. It's kind of a ironic thing that that was my last thing because it's still there. But I went to VeggieTales. I went to Big Idea Productions and worked there for a few years on the VeggieTales, and that's computer animation. So that was my first exposure to computer animation. I actually did learn my the basics of my. I only did it for about 3 months, but I animated on one of the DVDs, and then from there I was doing art direction and character design, and then ultimately directed a TV show for them, a Larry Boy 2D show.
Well, there's your new book, which we'll talk about. I feel like this webcast is really about your new book and about sort of the process of getting 3D animation to look cool and to have great poses and really sing. But your previous book is this one called Creating Characters with Personality. So I didn't realize when I got this is really kind of the book on character design. At least there aren't really very many books on character design.
Oh, there's
And
not.
so Tom decided to write one.
Well, it's funny how that came about. A friend of mine said, "Oh, I have a editor friend of mine is over at Watson Guptill, and they're looking for animation books." And this was years ago. This was, I don't know, 2003, I guess. And I talked to the editor, and they said, "Well, yeah, we want some animation books." And well, Richard Williams' book had, I think, just come out. I was like, "Well, it's been done. You know, why do an animation book when there's The Illusion of Life, and now there's Richard Williams' book that to me is like the ultimate animation book." So I said, "Let me think about it, and I'll come back to you." I didn't want to let the opportunity go, but I didn't want to just do what had been done before, and I would be doing like the second, third, fifth best version. So I started thinking about it, and I went, you know what? Wait, character design is always like a small chapter in all these animation books. You know, the Preston Blair book.
Yeah.
It touches on character design at the beginning. You know, Richard Williams touches on it at the beginning. Illusion of Life, has a section of it. But like, there's never been a book that was just about character design. Then I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, maybe that's because there's not enough to talk about in character design. Maybe you couldn't fill a book up. And then I started, the more I thought about it, and then I started putting together notes, and I basically sent a whole proposal to Watson Guptill, and, included some drawings in there and stuff. By the time I was done with that, I was excited, because I was like, no, there's definitely a book here.